In the vast expanse of the United States, it is common to find cities, towns, and even entire states with overlapping names. For instance, there are at least 4 states whose names share a striking similarity: North and South Carolina, North and South Dakota. When referring to both North and South Carolina, they are commonly known as the Carolinas. These 2 states share several bordering states, such as Virginia, Tennessee, and Georgia, as well as the Atlantic Ocean along their eastern coastlines. In terms of population, South Carolina ranks 23rd, while North Carolina comes in at 9th. Interestingly, both states are situated in the bottom half of the 50 states with respect to land area. North and South Carolina officially became separate states in the United States in 1788 and 1789, respectively. The complex history of North and South Carolina is not the result of just one event, but a series of disagreements, conflicts, and historical factors that took place over time. To better understand the division of these 2 states, it's crucial to know that the process unfolded gradually due to various influences. The history of Carolina dates back to 1512, when Ponce de Leon's daughter, Carolina, founded a Spanish colony in what is now known as North Carolina. Originally called the Carolina Colony, it was intended for settlement but remained uninhabited for some time. Interestingly, this area was one of the first places in the New World that Europeans tried to colonize. In 1562, French colonists arrived, but the local indigenous population quickly drove them away. The French named the region Carolina in honor of King Charles IX during their short-lived occupation. This is an amazing fact, as it shows that the name Carolina actually has French origins, even though it later became an English colony. English Commons member Sir Robert Heath was granted a charter over the land in 1629, but he couldn't establish a colony due to local uprisings and smallpox epidemics. In an exciting twist, 8 wealthy men known as Lord Proprietors were given complete control over the territory. However, their constant disagreements led to weak leadership and a lack of unity in the area. The Lord Proprietors' inability to effectively govern the region contributed to the development of separate identities in the northern and southern parts of Carolina. The North, with its small farms and less fertile soil, focused more on subsistence farming, while the South prospered with plantation agriculture, fertile land, and access to slave labor. This economic and cultural divide widened the gap between the 2 regions. An amazing fact about the Carolinas is that the famous pirate Blackbeard, also known as Edward Teach, frequented the coastal areas of North Carolina in the early 18th century. The region's many inlets and hidden cuds provided an ideal haven for pirates like him. The Tuscarora War in 1711 also significantly impacted the growing divide between North and South Carolina. The Tuscarora, an indigenous tribe, resisted European encroachment on their land, leading to conflict with the colonists. This war deepened the rift between the northern and southern settlers, as northerners were more inclined to defend their land, while southerners considered the conflict someone else's problem. In 1719, the British Crown reclaimed the southern part of Carolina, formally dividing the colony into North and South Carolina. This division was cemented in 1729 when North Carolina officially became a separate British colony. Over the past 3 centuries, North and South Carolina have evolved into 2 distinct states within the United States. Both states have rich histories and diverse cultures that contribute to the fabric of the nation. North Carolina is home to the mysterious Roanoke Colony, also known as the Lost Colony, which disappeared without a trace in the late 16th century. South Carolina, on the other hand, is known for its role in the American Revolution and the Civil War and its beautiful historic cities like Charleston. This separation was exacerbated by the different economies and cultures of the 2 regions. With its small farms and less fertile soil, the northern part of the Carolina province focused more on subsistence farming and had fewer plantations. In contrast, the southern part thrived on plantation agriculture with its fertile soil and access to slave labor, which resulted in a wealthier population. These economic and cultural differences further fueled the divide between the 2 regions. Over time, the lack of unity between the northern and southern regions, the failure of the Lords Proprietors to govern effectively, and the growing prosperity of the southern region led to an official separation. By 1729, North and South Carolina were recognized as distinct British colonies. In the following centuries, North and South Carolina developed into 2 unique states within the United States. North Carolina, with a population of around 10.6 million, is home to thriving cities like Charlotte and Raleigh. which together generate a larger GDP than South Carolina's Charleston and Greenville. South Carolina, with a population of about 5.9 million, has also seen substantial growth, with a projected 10% increase in population between 2010 and 2020. Today, North and South Carolina each have their own congressional delegations, with 2 senators in the Senate and 14 and 7 representatives in the House of Representatives, respectively. Their distinct histories, cultures, and economies continue to shape their identities as separate states in the United States. This unique combination of factors has contributed to the evolution of the Carolinas into the thriving states they are today, each with its own character and way of life. To comprehend the true nature of the relationship between the northern and southern parts of the Carolina province, it's crucial to acknowledge that they were never really a united area. While the colonial government was situated in Charlestown, now known as Charleston, the northern regions, such as Albemarle and Cape Fear, largely maintained their independence. This autonomy was evident even before the official division, as North and South Carolina each had their own governors, further highlighting the distinctiveness of each region. The geographical and cultural differences between the 2 regions were also significant factors in their eventual separation. North Carolina, with its rugged landscape and extensive coastline, had a more agrarian-based economy, while South Carolina, with its fertile soil and access to major ports, developed a prosperous plantation economy. These contrasting economic systems led to different societal structures and ways of life, making it more difficult for the 2 regions to function as a unified entity. As North and South Carolina continued to develop independently of one another, unique cultural identities began to emerge. North Carolina became known for its vibrant art scene, including music, pottery, and textiles, while South Carolina maintained a strong connection to its European roots, evident in the stunning architecture found in cities like Charleston. This further solidified the sense of distinctiveness between the 2 regions, making the idea of merging them into one state increasingly unlikely. From the American Revolution to the Civil War, each state played a crucial role in shaping the nation's history. As separate entities, they have had the opportunity to grow and evolve in their own ways, further establishing their distinct identities within the United States. The disunity between the 2 regions, the Lords Proprietors' failure to govern the territory effectively, and the increasing wealth of the southern region prompted the king to take back the southern part of Carolina for the crown in 1719. This action formally separated the colony into North and South Carolina. Over the last 300 years, North and South Carolina have grown into 2 unique states within the United States. North Carolina, with a population of about 10.6 million, is home to bustling cities like Charlotte and Raleigh, which together produce more GDP than South Carolina's Charleston and Greenville. On the other hand, South Carolina has a population of around 5.9 million and has also experienced considerable growth, with an estimated 10% increase in population between 2010 and 2020. As distinct states, North and South Carolina each have their own representation in Congress, with 2 senators in the Senate and 14 and 7 representatives in the House of Representatives, respectively. In a different version of history, North and South Carolina might have stayed united as a single state called Carolina. The history of the Carolinas before the United States was formed is fascinating, shaped by both English and American influences. However, the chances of these 2 states merging now are extremely low. The tale of the Carolinas separation provides an interesting look into history's intricate and multi-layered nature, revealing how different factors and events can shape regions' development over time. The incredible history of North and South Carolina showcases a rich tapestry of exploration, colonization, and cultural development that has shaped these 2 distinct states. So here's our final engaging question for you. If you could travel back in time, which historical event in the Carolinas would you most like to witness, and why? If you enjoyed learning about the fascinating history of the Carolinas, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel for more captivating stories and insights. Thank you for joining us on this historical journey.